Hello. So, unfortunately, I have to eat all of my previous words. I've talked about this plant so many times, and I keep saying that it's so easy, it's like impossible to kill, it thrives on neglect, blah 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 blah. Now look. Now look. Now look. Hello, my name is Benga, and on this channel I talk about my plants, and today we are dealing with a mistake. So I've said on this channel many times that this snake plant is the easiest plant I own. I water it like every 3 months, but I clearly went too far because you can see all of the signs that things are going wrong. If you look down the middle, you can see there's a leaf that's completely shriveled up and crispy. There's yellow markings on a lot of the leaves. There's even browning on some of these leaves. It's a mess. So, well, number one, I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna let it get to this point again. And number two, I'm also not going to talk too much about how easy a plant is if I'm not walking the walk as well. So, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been talking too much like that. But really what I'm going to do today is going to try and get this to a position where it looks more presentable, it's healthy, at least everything that's left on it is healthy and in a good position for it to grow going forward for the rest of the summer. So at the moment it's just at the very beginning of spring, and this is bone dry soil. So what I'm planning to do is 1, cut off all the dead and dying leaves, 2, repot it, but specifically remove all the mold, and then finally add in some soil to effectively repot it with the new soil and get rid of the mold. And I might even throw in some fertilizer because that's what I'm on now. I fertilize my plants. So come with me as I try to rescue this plant that really didn't need to get to the point of needing rescuing. This was just my own arrogance, actually. Yeah. So here we go. First off, I'm just going to remove it out of its pot. So get rid of this to one side. So it's not a very big pot actually. And actually another thing, but I can feel it, it's actually not root bound, but it's pretty tight in here. So it's grown quite a lot since I repotted it, which I think I did last year. What I'm going to do is, 1, I'm going to take it out of this pot, and 2, I'm probably going to change the angle of the camera because I need to work top down. But first of all, actually, let's remove the pot so you can see the roots and you can see what we're working with. So, okay. Alright. Okay, it's dropping soil all over the place. But this is just to give you an idea of how the roots are looking right to the side of the pot. I've had this plant for about 2 years now. I think it's been in this pot for just under 1 year. You can see how much mold is growing inside, like here and here. These are clusters of mold. So it's really could not continue much longer. Okay, let me change the angle of the camera so you can see what's going on. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my trusty implements. I've got this wooden stick and I've got the shears because I might have to remove some dead leaves, unfortunately. The plant is over here, so I'm going to remove out the pot again and put it down on the table while the soil is coming off everywhere. So I think the soil at the bottom here is probably fine, but we'll come back to that later on. Let's just focus on the soil on the table. What I'm going to do, because of the state it's in, i.e. it's bone dry, I want to be able to get to the bottom of some of the leaves and there's mold in the soil. While I wouldn't normally do this, I'm actually going to completely change all of the soil and get rid of it. So I'm going to get in there and try and remove as much of the soil as possible to get just pure roots. So we'll see how far we get. wanting to show you that this is what a new leaf looks like when it's sprouting from the bottom. It's very pale and it goes from the red colour of the thick parts, which is kind of roots, and then it turns upwards and it starts to go paler and paler. And you can't really tell on camera, I don't think, but it's actually a very, very pale green. So I guess once it breaks the surface, it also starts to go dark green, and it will grow like the rest of these leaves. Okay, so at this point, this is probably as much, wow, sorry, can you see it? Yeah. This is probably as much soil as I'm going to be able to get off without damaging the roots, and like, I'm trying to actually separate up the plant into different pots. So this is probably where I'm going to leave it for now. What I wanted to point out is that I really enjoy these roots. They are kind of a reddish orange brown type of color. That was kind of vague, but imagine, so if you see this like plastic terracotta colored pot in reference, I think these are kind of standard colors everywhere, so if you have one of these you can reference, it's a bit more orange than that. One of the few plants that I am aware of that has roots that are not white, which, or like a off-white kind of color, so I like that. It's kind of unique. I can't give you a like anatomy lesson, but I think it is interesting to see what's going on below the soil. So you can see this is obviously the main leaf here, and the leaf comes from this down here. I don't know at what point this would be considered a rhizome, but something down here is considered a rhizome. Maybe it's this part that's kind of orange color, but it goes from green to yellow to orange, and then this is like this very thick, almost like a pipe, and then you have all the roots that stem off from that and start to shoot down into these very fine roots on the bottom. So you don't often get to see this, so I thought it would be interesting to show you. So what I'm going to be doing now is, since I've got easy access to all of the base of the leaves, I'm going to go through and trim up get rid of any dried up leaves, cut off any leaves that are dead or dying, and we'll see what we're left with at the end of that. I don't know if this is a new leaf or not, but it's all dry. Okay, so this is what we were left with after pruning and getting rid of the dead leaves. You can see at the base where it's yellow, those are the ones that I really targeted, especially because some of them were kind of mushy and shriveled. But I've left some, as long as it feels strong, I've left it in there. So I've taken off like this one, and I've taken off this one. This one I took off because it kind of snapped, but I'm probably going to repot this because it looks healthy. It just like it snapped at the bottom. Can you see that? Yeah. So as usual, when I repot this, I'm going to start off with a pot, fill it up to about here-ish with soil, and then backfill. Actually, I've just realised at the corner of my eye, I saw that this leaf, I forgot, I just snapped a leaf. Oh, no. Okay, I can't see where it snapped, so I'm going to leave it on. But this leaf, I can see here, is brown, and I can also feel it's a bit mushy, and the water's actually seeping through. So that's a sign that that's going to end up coming off. So I'm just going to cut it at the base and remove it entirely. So I hope you can see this. No, that's cool. Okay. Right, so let's see what they are. Can you see? That clearly needs more soil, so this is probably a too big a pot for this job. I'm not going to lie to you, I cannot be bothered to get up and go and get another pot. So we'll make do for now. I'm just going to water this very sparingly going forward. That's roughly about enough, I think. So honestly, I don't like the look of this leaf anymore, so I'm going to cut it the Okay, let's cut. Okay, that is looking good. So, let me show you the final look.
It's a major car accident. So when I was 16, this happens every once in a while, and the pain is super intense.
Okay, here's the final look. I would say it's not noticeably fewer leaves, but the leaves that are there are all healthy. There's one that has a bit of a yellow mark, which is down here. So I'll keep an eye on that. And if that starts to go left, I'm just going to snip it. No mercy. What I've learned from this experience is don't leave it this late towards the plant. And typically with snake plants, if it's going yellow and brown and whatnot, that leaf is all gone anyway. So you need to adjust your care, but accept that leaf is gone. So I won't do it to you again. I'm so sorry. Let me put this down, it's kind of heavy. Okay. I've just seen a leaf in the middle that has to go. Ooh, I'm so... What did I put? Yeah, that has to go. Let me just deal with that real quick. That can't stay. Yeah. So I'm wondering if cutting off all these leaves is going to promote more growth from the bottom. We'll see. I potentially might be fertilizing this, as I said. So if I do, we will again use this as a frame of reference to see where this was post cleanup and then where it is at the end of the summer. So thank you for watching. Again, I'm still tired. So no music, I'm just gonna go.